Hello guys, today I want to share with you a deep thought about fear. More than a thought, something to make evolve in our life so that we really get to another level in our life and we are able to succeed in much more things than we want and much faster. The things that I don't know if you've really noticed that, but most of the things we do or don't do is based on fear. We try to avoid fear at any cost, and that makes us have certain behavior and not look at certain things. And the behavior we have because of that are not rational at all. The problem is that uh, fear is something natural, obviously. If there is a danger, we have some fear and we react accordingly. We try to avoid that at any cost, and that's good. We know that. The problem is that we've learned a lot of fear, and we've learned them because at first, I believe when we were a baby, we were not fearful of a lot of things like that because we hadn't experienced any kind of danger. So we learn some kind of real danger, when we are physically hurt. But most of the time, the danger we've learned is about emotional danger in a way, Um, and because of that, we fear a lot of situations. The problem is that that there is just one thing. I've just watched a video about someone who teach how to learn English, and that's something I do. Just this person is an English-speaking person, and I will put the link below. It's very interesting, and I suggest you listen to that because it's very interesting. And that's something I do for French people. Uh, teaching how to learn English, basically, because it's not about really learning English by itself or a language. It's how to do and all the problems we encounter. And most of the time, yeah, fear is a big part of the problem. Um, the thing is, what would we do if we weren't fearful of so many things? Of all the things that are not a real danger, that are just based on our emotions. We learned to be fearful because of the reaction of others around us. And that is exactly where we are not rational at all. Because when we were young, obviously, we had, I don't know, maybe the adult world that were like a reference to us. And if our parents, our teachers, and so on had a negative opinion about what we were doing or saying, it was important to us. But when we grow up, I think the thing we don't learn and that we should do is to reconsider all of that, everything, and to realize that the opinion of everyone is not good, even if it's the opinion of our parents or of people important to us. Uh, it's not always good, and we have to choose if we put some value there or not. And as it's something that we don't usually do or very little, we still have all those feeling of danger anytime we have experienced something like that in a given situation. So the problem is that we're not aware of that. And each time we feel some kind of danger, even if it's purely emotional, we try to avoid that at any cost. And that makes us unaware of why we're acting this way and of what is really our motivation. So what I suggest really is to realize each time we try to avoid something, it's something that we're not aware because we don't want to experience this uncomfort. So what do we do? Basically, we think to something else. We turn on the radio. We switch on the TV. We speak to someone. Anything, but we don't want to stay. Most of the time, we just don't want to stay alone in silence because we have all kind of emotions that come and that we don't know how to handle in a way. And that's exactly, so we have all this uncomfort, these fears that come back. And as we don't know how to handle them, we try to avoid them. We fear this uncomfort. And so we're not even aware of what's happening, of the irrationality of those feelings. And obviously, we don't reconsider them. We don't make another judgment another assessment on what's happening, on what is the reason why. So being aware of what's happening, of when we try to avoid something, is, I think, the real first step to look at that and say, hey, what is, yeah, I really have a feeling of fear sometimes, a fear of being judged, fear of being, appear as foolish, or a lot of things like that. And yes, but that's just a feeling, and I can still stay with that and think about it. It's not fearful to think about it and to realize that, So at this moment, it's good to say, yeah, but I will stay with that because I know there is a challenge there and I have something to reconsider. Uh, because if we are able to not be fearful of so many things, we could grow and become who we want to be way faster, really, because think of the people who succeed. Imagine someone who doesn't fear the look of others, just that. And they are just able to do anything, to make mistakes again and again at everything they do without, any negative feeling at all. How this person would appear as being fearless in a way, but they would appear as someone who dares doing, trying, experimenting, and we can see that this person is going to do great things very quickly because they just move on so fast. Usually, we don't have a negative perception of this person, even if sometimes we can say, "Yeah, it looks a little foolish there," but in the end, this person is going to move very fast, and we know that. And most of the time, I think we really enjoy and respect this kind of person, but we don't really dare do it ourselves. So when we can realize that, we can start to have a switch and say, yeah, that's maybe much more that who I want to be. If I'm able to try again and again, making mistakes and have no negative emotions about the look of others. So yeah, I think the real goal is not really to reach a certain goal in a certain area of our life, but to be just someone who is able to experiment and do whatever they want uh, without being fearful about everything. So just reconsider that, becoming aware of those situations which are happening so many times during the day, is a very good step, and reconsidering that is very powerful, because the real barrier is because we don't want to be aware of the uncomfort. We try to avoid this uncomfort of those feelings, and we never look clearly at what's happening and what is the reason why. So I will put the link below. Don't hesitate to listen to just this person who speak about why we are so weak about learning another language. It's very interesting, okay? And reconsider that. I really think that's a key part if you want to have a better life and be really who you want to be, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Have a great life, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.